Filmed that last piece, and guess what? I started 5'2", so I'm a wee little woman. Anyway, I had one of the most stressful days, insanely stressful, yesterday.
Like I took away from this is truly life can change in the blink of an eye, and it's like now is the only time you're ever gonna have to just hold your loved ones close, be so present with them. And it was that hit, that reminder for me that you never know how quick something can just change and alleviate so much stress and arguments if we're able to just take a moment to actually just hear the other person, truly listen to and validate how they feel. Because
all right, part 2, here we go. It is literally the day after I filmed that last piece, and guess what? I started my cycle. I never thought I'd be so happy to see red. Sorry, that's probably terrible, but I'm just happy. Oh my gosh, I had a rough weekend. Woo, I had a rough weekend. It was a hard one for sure. Probably one of the hardest times, I've had, I go through this every month, but this one was really bad. And I think it's just the combination of really messing up my diet and, yeah, I was a wreck, but I'm just really proud of myself. I could never fully express the magnitude of what it means to me to be able to go through that time and pull myself out of it as quick as I did. I'm just feeling like myself again. I'm feeling like that empowered Sami, ready to kick ass, achieve goals. Like I'm back to that person, and I'm just so happy to to be where I am, to feel like I finally have really broken this cycle that I've been struggling with for a good 6 years. So wow, it feels really freaking good. So with that being said, it is currently May 3rd, and the show is 18 days away or whatever, and I'm still unsure exactly what I'm gonna do. My biggest goal with stepping on stage again was I wanted to improve the package I brought for my first show. And with it being so far off from my last show, and I went up in my weight and I'm not exactly where I want to be, I don't want to step on stage and be worse. You know what I mean? I do still have time, and I've gotten on track, and I really I'm feeling good again with the direction of the progress I'm making. But I don't know, I'm still unsure. I want to see how I'm looking now that I've started, and now I'm getting back on track. I'm still burning a bunch of calories. Things are still changing, so I can improve. I'll see where I'm at and then make my decision. But I'm kind of running out of time because you have to be registered by the 7th. So we gonna have to make this decision quick. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just gonna feel into what's feeling right for me and go from there. So we will be back to share what is happening, but I just wanted to update that I started, and I'm so happy. Phew. Okay, time to go train some chest, shoulder, and triceps today. Thursday, May 5th, and I just wanted to pop on really quick to give an update on the weight. So, this morning, I finally had the courage to step on the scale and just get an idea of where I'm sitting. So, like I said, I was staying around a few pounds stage weight, and I stepped on the stage at 108 pounds. And just for reference, I'm 5'2", so I'm a wee little woman. Anyway, so I was staying around, like I said, a few pounds stage weight this whole time, which was 111 pounds is where I was sitting all these weeks after show. Then, of course, like I shared, I had my binging episode, and I went up significantly. I know I did without even looking, because with what I stepped on today, it was just a really great indication of how much I went up, because I've been back on track for the last 4 days and been making great progress since then. I can feel it, that I've been dropping weight. So I stepped on the scale today at 112 pounds. So I was so happy to see that, because yeah, I definitely went up. I can guarantee you I was probably sitting at about 119 pounds after that binge. I can guarantee it. But like I said, back down to 112, so that made me really happy to see. So yeah, that's where we're at right now, and I'll be back to give you guys the update on the show that's coming up. So first things first, we're gonna go train some back and biceps. What are you doing?
I don't know. Mommy was telling me.
Yeah?
All the flowers grow.
Really?
Yeah.
So, it is Saturday at like 9:20 at night, and I am here at the gym to get my glute workout in that I didn't get to do yesterday. And to be honest, I had one of the most stressful days, insanely stressful, yesterday. It was beyond rough, but I'm gonna update you guys on that tomorrow. As much as I just wasn't gonna share, because I'm not about sharing every little detail of my life, but that was just such a big one for me, and I honestly, there was I took away some messages with what happened, and I figured, honestly, I'm just gonna share it. So I'll update you on that tomorrow. And then today's continued on with the stress, and so I'm here at the gym to kind of relieve this. But with that being said, I will see you tomorrow to update on kind of what happened and what the update and the for sure plan is as far as the next show goes. So I'm gonna go relieve some stress. Alright guys, to kind of fill you in on what happened on Friday. A couple days have passed now for me to try to kind of collect myself, but it's been rough lately. I've definitely not been in the greatest mental state the past 2 weeks, really. So that's been really hard, trying to determine what to do as far as the show goes.
But just kind of real quick, I had to take my son to his eye appointment about an hour and 15 minutes from where we lived, and his dad and his sisters went with us this time. And they were just going to sit in the car, and while they were going to go and leave and get food and then just kind of sit and wait for us. To try to make long story short, they left to get food. He didn't get the greatest service in the parking ramp. And when my son and I come out, he texts me where he was, and we come out, we're done with the appointment. He was hungry, I was hungry, and we go out to where he said he was, and he's nowhere to be found. So here it is, we're sitting out in this parking ramp, and I call him, like, where are ya? And he wouldn't answer his phone. And I called, and we walked around the parking ramp, and time just kept going by. 10 minutes went by, and I'm calling like every 5 minutes. 20 minutes goes by, 30 minutes goes by. My son is hungry, and I'm starting to get really worried. Like, where are they? He has my girls in the car. Like, I started getting very worried. And literally it got to the point where like 45 minutes went by. They should have been back by now. We're in the big town, big city where everything's close. It doesn't take you long to go to anything. So he should have been back. Literally 45 minutes passed, and I'm starting to lose my shit, to be honest with you. I did so good the whole time, like holding myself together, but literally all that kept going through my head was that they had to have gotten in a car accident or something, and that thought was just not helping my situation, period. Literally, I had to go back up into the office because we were sitting in the little section where the elevators were in the parking ramp the whole time, and I ended up taking him back up to the little office, and I didn't have my purse on me. I had nothing because I had it in the car and I didn't need it at the time. So I ended up taking him back up there to go kind of tell the people my situation and ask them if there was any way they had like a little snack or something. And so I got him a snack, and here I am trying to stay on my goals. And so I took like one nibble of the little fruit bar or whatever to try to just hold myself together, but got him that. And once I went up there and like told him kind of my situation, like I kind of started losing it a little bit. I kind of started crying because I'm sitting here just so freaking worried. 45 minutes goes by, and like what? So anyway, they were able to get us some water and some snacks. I was so grateful for that. We went back down into the parking ramp and sat there, and I let him eat, and I just kept calling Jake. Like, he would not answer. I texted him, I'm blowing up his phone, and it got to the point where literally we sat out there for a whole hour. I shit you not, I'm literally timing how much time is going past, and like I said, the whole time all I could think was that they got in a car accident. That was like my first initial thought, is like maybe they left to go get the food and then something happened, and I was just so upset. I ended up calling my mom and told her my situation, and that's when I really lost my cool. Like, I just started bawling, and I told her, and she kind of got worried too, and they were actually on their way back home from our cabin, and so they were going to head right to us. And she kind of, told me what to do, and anyway, so yeah, a whole hour went by, and then it got to be an hour and 10 minutes. She was like 2 hours away, so I'm just like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? And literally an hour and 10 more minutes goes by, and finally I get a nice casual call from Jake. I fell to my knees after that long of stress and having it in your head that you just lost part of your family and you're never going to see him again. That literally is all I could think. And when he called me, I just, like I said, I fell to my knees bawling in the parking lot of just like all the stress and all this adrenaline in my body, and the thought of like that realization, that relief of like, oh my God, they're okay. Here it is. I thought maybe I would never see him again. And I lost it. I was literally crying on my knees in the parking ramp. This lady asked if I was okay, if I needed help, because I completely lost my cool, and I'm just like, no, I really appreciate it, but I couldn't explain the situation, obviously. But apparently he had fallen asleep that entire time, and he was on the wrong level. I was like, are you kidding me? All this stress, just for no reason, really. It was a nightmare, but and I was just, and he was all whoa, he was kind of in shock, because I'm in this panic, and he's just waking up from a nap, and it didn't go very well, because we were in very different mental states at that time, and we kind of got into it a lot, and it's caused a lot of stress, and it, even now, days going by, it's still these after effects. It's just been a mess, but I'm not going to give all the details on that. That's just the story on what happened there. But it was extremely stressful, to tell you the least. But like I was saying, one of the messages I kind of took away from this is truly, life can change in the blink of an eye, and it's now is the only time you're ever going to have to just hold your loved ones close, be so present with them. And it was that reminder for me that you never know how quick something can just change. And I'm just so relieved that everything was okay. But it was definitely a lot of unnecessary stress, and it did not help after, if you watch my last video of my issues I was already dealing with. I've already been in a bad mental state lately, and that just didn't help. This has been a big test for me lately, to be honest. And so, anyway, with that being said, it has really messed with, I think with doing shows, competing, it's it is so mental. You gotta be in a good mental state, because I don't know, it's just a lot. And if you're already not in a good mental state, it can just make competing that much harder, and doing prep that much harder. Your body maybe not even will respond the best. There's just so much to it. And honestly, after this whole 2 weeks, I've been struggling even more so on whether I was going to do the show or not. And I've just been really, really thinking about it the past couple days. And also, one of my big goals for stepping on stage again was I wanted to come in looking better. Now, with where I'm at now, it's I'm unsure on, am I going to step on that stage and actually look better? That's what I was worried about. But I mean, at the end of the day, I can improve. My posing can improve, and I've already made improvements with that. I'm going to, practice on the other side, my dominant side. I'm going to pose on that side. I'm going to do my hair different. There's little things that I can do to come in, better. But that was my greatest expectation. I have no expectations as far as oh, I'm going to win again. Not even close. That's not my expectation. I was just hoping to come in better, improved. And that was my expectation for myself. Is just, can I be better than I was at my first show? And that's where I've gotten hung up on whether I want to do it or not, because it's am I going to come in better? The last thing I want to do is step on there and be worse. But I've been redeeming myself since my whole binge, and I've been working so hard, and just showing up the way I need to, getting my mental state, in a good place, and going through all that I'm going through, and just, know that everything at the end of the day you go through that's so challenging is going to make you that much more resilient for life. So that's kind of the mindset I have. But I have decided that I'm just gonna go for it. At the end of the day, I just want more practice being on stage before nationals. I just want more practice. I loved the whole process, and that's just what it is for me, just more practice. So even if I step up there and I don't look as good as I did the first one, or I didn't improve like I wanted to, at least I'm up there getting more practice. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, but that is the news. I am doing this show, and we are officially 2 weeks out. I'm going to be busting ass. Seriously, like really hardcore this next 2 weeks to kind of get myself prepared mentally and physically, and that's the deal. So that was long, but here we go.
I got you.
Alright guys, I just want to say one last thing before I completely close out this video. And that is today's Monday, let's see, May 9th. And after my whole fiasco this weekend, I am feeling so much better. Jake and I actually were able to have a good talk yesterday, and since things have kind of cooling down, we're able to talk about the whole situation and actually just really sit and listen to the other person, how they felt, and just be compassionate and empathetic for the other person, and just come to a place of understanding. And it was great because it's been heavy this past couple days with everything that it brought up, and you know, it's hard in the heat of the moment to try to be, you know, just listen to the other person and their perspective. And especially with our situation, there was just, he was taking a nap, enjoying his time, and then woke up to chaos and me and a whole hour of distress. And it's truly, at the end of the day, I think just about being able to take a moment to hear the other person and truly be empathetic for how do they feel about the situation. And I think it can really help alleviate so much stress and arguments if we're able to just take a moment to actually just hear the other person, truly listen to and validate how they feel. Because if I'm honest, that's why so much of this whole situation went way worse, was because I didn't feel like my feelings were validated. And we talked about it and everything, and he you know, apologized and truly heard me. And so it released so much of this tension and stress, and I'm so grateful for this to just be, you know, done and over with in the past. And now we can move on and feel good and be back on track for everything. And I just feel so relieved. It's just been such a huge weight lifted off of me, so I'm really grateful for that. And now it's go time. We are 2 weeks out from the show, and I'm feeling good. So let's see what we can do in 2 weeks to try to come in a little bit better, hopefully. But here we go. I'll keep you guys updated in the next video. So show number 2, let's go.